The Stick World Legacy tournament mode is trash now, and I am not happy about it. So for those of you who may not be aware, a while back, Russell Bones, one of the developers who focuses a little bit more on Stick World Legacy, dropped into the chat and said he was making some changes to the tournament mode, apparently having received a lot of feedback that it was too spammy and the final characters were too difficult. Now, some of that I will agree with, a good example being Cyrus, where he makes golden archodonts and merrics at a really fast rate, or Sean and Serenity, who spam Archodon Rain endlessly, and it's even worse considering the Archodon statue buffs that stupid spell. So I will agree that there were some aspects to the tournament mode where the spell spamming was too great. Then he asked for any additional feedback people wanted that he could change, and people provided some good feedback. But these changes did not make the tournament mode better. In fact, they actually made it a lot worse, because now the AI opponents went from being reasonably challenging with their fast frequency of spell use to complete and utter garbage. And here's the problem. The AIs themselves are not that good. Like, it is very easy to overwhelm them, it is very easy to dominate them, and the excessive spell spam sort of made up for that and made them a bit more of a challenge, but taking that away now made them complete garbage. Now, Blocks are already made a really good in-depth video diving deeper into these changes. For example, Grug and Vlad no longer having access to stone giants, Sean no longer having Summon the Elite and instead getting a golden archer with his reinforcements. And then there's Ruthless, who no longer has access to her lightning storm and doesn't get a Kai Rider in the reinforcements anymore, which was really, really stupid. The Lightning Storm Archodon Rain combo was a really good surprise mechanic, which also happened to hurt the player a decent bit, which I thought was good, because the player already gets a huge advantage over the AI opponents anyway. And that Lightning Storm Archodon Rain combo really helped spice things up and make things more challenging. And taking away the Lightning Storm and keeping the Archodon Rain is just so stupid. A lot of these tournament characters still use Archodon Rain. Why? It's so old at this point, it's really stupid, and frankly, I'm just sick and tired of it. Like, Archodon Rain is overrated, it is garbage, and the AIs really need to stop being forced to use that every single time. It does not make sense. Again, you take away Lightning Storm, but you literally keep a stupid Archodon Rain. That's pathetic. Another change to Ruthless, which makes no sense, is her getting a Zarik statue instead of having her giant statue, which means the Griffin she gets on reinforcement no longer gets the buffs anymore for benefiting from the giant statue, and I just don't understand the reasoning behind that either. It's stupid. Deathfang used to summon a ton of deads in the mid-game and early game in order to overwhelm the player, which wasn't even all that strong to begin with, because once you got a strong enough army, you could overwhelm the deads pretty easily. But now with the spell frequency toned down, apparently now he summons the deads so late into the game and so far apart that they're not even an issue anymore, and savage units now even have an easier time dealing with it. And then there's Iggy, which apparently he no longer uses Lightning Storm, or if he does, it happens way late in the game. I have not tested this for myself, but him saying that it's happened, I'm willing to believe it. And again, just made him from slightly challenging to complete and utter garbage. Now, thankfully, some of the characters, despite being hit with hard nerfs, still provide a little bit of a challenge. For example, the Kai Rider that Deathfang gets in his reinforcements, it does help make early game rushdowns against him just a little bit harder, especially on non-deathmatch modes like classic barricades, or in this case, Gold Rush. But even then, the Kai Rider is still not very difficult to defeat, and I was able to defeat it with Voltaic Sword Wrath spam. It definitely got intense a little bit, which is definitely what I prefer. It provides a decent challenge, but again, the Kai Rider is still not difficult to defeat very much at all. Now, it could be argued that this is Gold Rush, so my miners are providing a consistent source of gold, but at the very least, it is certainly better than nothing. It's better than taking away the Kai Rider from Ruthless and her reinforcing wave, which I get it, she gets a Griffin as well, but having the Kai Rider as an extra thing to fight provides the challenge, and taking the Kai Rider away just makes her a joke. Like, the Griffin is not hard to defeat, it really isn't that intimidating. And it even takes longer to kill giants compared to Hacker.exe's final boss. So it really just can't be compared in the same way. Anyway, going back to what I was saying before, the nerf on the AI's ability to use spells has changed a lot of them from being somewhat challenging to complete and utter trash. And the reason why is the spell spam, while hectic in some situations, it did make up for a lot of the flaws that the AIs possess, and we'll just go down that list now. For one, it is very easy to kill their units, especially when it comes to the tournament characters that have low star ratings, usually the ones in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. It is super easy to kill their units. You can take a Voltaic Sword Wrath and insta-kill their Sword Wrath with 1 hit. And keep in mind, this is something that you cannot do against regular Sword Wrath in the campaign on Insane. It takes 2 hits to kill a Sword Wrath with a Voltaic Sword. But in the tournament, you can insta-kill a lot of their swords with a single hit, which shows that their units have a ridiculous health and damage nerf. Even on Insane, it's very easy to overwhelm them. Even with no user control, it's very easy for a wave of your units to kill a wave of their units. Another big issue that I want to bring up is the AI's ability to user control. Or should I say, lack thereof, because it rarely happens, and when it does happen, it's for a very short amount of time. And this is something that actually bothers me a lot more than it should, and because the main reason why is, well, I'll let my past self explain it.
Once he wants to garrison. In the Crown of Immorta, these AIs can actually control their own units. So that what he could have did there, he could have took control of his Archon and, I don't know, maybe kite it backwards. I don't know. But the AIs can take control of their own units and even strategize with them. And they can even use spells against you. And depending on the difficulty, that's how crazy it's going to be.
Good lord, 8 years ago I sounded like that? God, I have never cringed so hard. Apparently back then I talked at 2 times speed. It sounded like I got high off of helium. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is what got me hooked on the tournament mode when it released for the very first time was the fact that the AIs could user control, because let's be honest, user control in Stick War Legacy is overpowered. It is extremely broken. And the idea of having that power used against you was something that I got really excited for when the tournament mode first released to beta. And now it's like they rarely use the control, and when they do, it's either the wrong unit at the wrong time or it doesn't last long at all. Most of the time I would see them user controlling miners to give themselves an early eco boost, which isn't bad, but that's as far as they go. If they're controlling Sword Wrath or Spiritins, the damage output is usually trash and they never use spear throws. I almost never see them control Magi Killer Giants, and it's pretty rare for them to control archers and take advantage of the kiting that I know they can do. They just don't do it enough. Also, something I observed over the years is there seems to be a condition tied to the AI opponents where if a unit they're controlling takes a certain amount of damage, they will deselect it and have the unit retreat. And this is very bad on low health units like Sword Wrath and Archers, because one good hit and they deselect and have the unit fall back, and there goes any chance of making the gameplay interesting or challenging. And sometimes you have moments like this where they're just randomly selecting units and doing nothing with them. And when it seems like they're about to do something with them, they usually just deselect it and control another unit. Now that I think about it, this actually ties pretty well into the next point that I was going to make later, but I can actually bring it up now. And that's the comparison of the new updated tournament to the old one and the differences between the performance of the AIs. With the old tournament mode, the AI was a lot more aggressive, they usually controlled a lot more, and they were smarter with it. They kited with archers more, they would use Spiritans to rush and block off castle archers when attacking the player's statue. They still had the same flaws of deselecting a unit if it took too much damage way too early, but at least there was a little bit of better effort put into user control, and they were actually a little bit more difficult, at least in the early stages of the old tournament mode. The reason why the old tournament fell off and failed was because it was the same thing every time with no variety and nothing new going on. So you can get used to the strategies that the AIs would make and you would immediately know how to hard counter them. And not to mention, the spell variety was non-existent. In the old tournament mode, Crazy J and Wesley used Golden Spiritans, which was later replaced with Statue Turret, and all the other AI opponents used Archon on Rain endlessly. That was the only spell they used over and over, pretty much no change going on at all. And that's what caused the old tournament mode to fall off.
He's gonna move another archer forward. He doesn't have any Spiritans yet though, and I have one. But he killed my archer with that stupid... We didn't get him with that. How in the hell is he doing 106? You gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me right here. Okay, that is garbage. That is absolute freaking garbage. 160% per shot? I can't even do that crap. Oh good, we sniped that archer too. I'm so glad we did. Okay, so it turns out Cyrus' Spiriture is unbelievably overpowered, but just as ridiculous. So we're left with these Spiritans. However, we are clearly not winning this battle. Nope, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely stupid. You gotta be kidding me here. Look at this crap. I cannot believe this. How is he able to get this much? How is he able to get that sword spam in a matter of literal seconds? Okay. New plan. We're just gonna go to immediate archer start. We'll build up the economy over time, but I'm just gonna have to go for an immediate offense. Use the wall to the advantage and just snipe things. That's why I can't stand Cyrus. Oh, he's controlling his Magi kill. I didn't even realize that. No wonder my giant's eating so much damage. He actually killed it first. Oh, no. This is not good at all. This is not good at all now. This is very bad. 300. Oh my goodness. What? 362. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Oh my god, his magic kill. It still has a ton of health. It's even doing the regen. I can't believe this. What went wrong here? What? I cannot believe it. We're gonna lose. We're going to lose. I cannot believe he turned this game around so quickly. Okay, this needs to die. Like right now. Kill this. Okay, that's dead, but how can we... I don't know what we do. What do we do here? I can try and kill these. Can I get it? Oh, no, I don't. I don't. But he's backing off here. He's backing off. I could not ask for a better time. So we need to just camp.
Another major difference between the old tournament and new one that I've touched on numerous times, but it's worth bringing up again, is the differences in aggression. When it comes to deathmatch and super deathmatch, they are super aggressive on the old tournament mode, with super deathmatch always going for a giant, at least 2 magi killing a bunch of swords, then on the second gold wave getting more magi killing a bunch of spears, then the third gold wave might have some archers, another giant or two, and maybe another magi kill or two, which was really good. And also, throughout the entirety of super deathmatch, the AI would attack immediately, and the same thing would apply with regular deathmatch. In this case, their army comp usually consisted of multiple giants to start off, usually 3, sometimes it would go up to 5, and they would usually control the giants to get an early edge, and they even dealt more damage than the players' giants did, which provided more of a challenge. Then they would go for a magi kill, then speartons, then swords and archers, basically taking advantage of the fact that they have 10,000 gold to work with and making an actual challenge. The new tournament AI is not like this, not even close. It is way worse. With the new tournament mode, the playstyle of the AIs have been changed from aggressive to a lot more passive, which doesn't make sense to me. So on Deathmatch and Super Deathmatch, they would open up by building a bunch of miners, which isn't a bad idea, but then they proceed to build units that doesn't help them at all. And in this case, I chose to make a test by not building any units at all to see how quickly the AI would attack, and it turned out to be pretty early. But if I chose to build units right at the start, 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't have attacked. And the big issue additionally with this is, with them playing more passive, it seems like they just don't build higher tier units. Like in this case, for almost the entire match here, Guy decided to build nothing but spears and archers, which get very easily bullied by giants and magi kills, something that I did not understand. They don't go for magi kill, they don't go for giants or even archers, literally just speartons and swords, which again was super easy to overwhelm. Even with the fact that they were lava skin, it was irrelevant. This is the only thing that Guy went for the entirety of entirety of Super Deathmatch, and it was easy to stump those units when you only build units that are very susceptible to being stunned all the time. And it doesn't make sense. And now here's regular deathmatch, where as you can see, they're doing the same stupid thing. Passive, ridiculously passive eco start, which leads into them only making like swords and archers and like a couple of speartons, and they just don't take advantage of the fact that they literally have 10,000 gold to work with. And look at this, I caused an instant garrison, something that shouldn't even be possible on a game mode where you get 10,000 gold. That the stupid passive play that was given to the AI has crippled their ability to do a lot of things on deathmatch related game modes, where they play like they don't have access to the majority of their freaking unit roster. It doesn't make sense at all, and it makes it way too easy to overwhelm and destroy them. All the flaws that I previously mentioned were not as bad back when the AI had powerful spell spam on their side. Now again, there were situations where nerfs were needed, mainly to Sean and Serenity, where only having Archidon Rain boosted by the Archidon statue, which makes the stupid spell last twice as long. Yeah, that definitely needed to be changed, because it's pathetic how that was one of the only things that they went for. But at the very least, Sean also went for things like Summon the Elite, something I don't even think he does anymore with the nerf that was done. Then Ruthless losing her Lightning Storm and Kai Rider, and her ability to get dead spells mid-game made it a lot worse. Basically, this nerf has made the tournament mode really bad, because all of those previous flaws are now even more prevalent and makes the tournament mode seem like a joke. So if the spell usage is going to be nerfed, then the AIs themselves need to be improved. They need better unit composition. They need to go for different strategies every time you play against them, instead of facing the same thing over and over, like facing more archer spam. spear chirp, something. Then their units need to be a lot tougher. It's ridiculous how easy it is to kill them early game, especially when it comes to the lower level players that are already easy to steamroll. They also need to be a lot more difficult. The lower star rated players, like, there's almost no difficulty to them whatsoever. You can probably defeat them easily with a no upgrade run, but that involves having to cripple yourself just to make it challenging somewhat, which isn't a good design. They need to be able to use the control a lot more. I mean, come on, give them the ability to throw spears and have them target the player's backline units like Magi Kill and force the player to have to build up a defense against that. Or have them start with an early Golden Archer and harass the player's economy early on. Just overall, the AIs have always needed improvements, and now that the spells have been nerfed, they really need those improvements in order for them to be good and not be so reliant on spell spam. And my final thing I want to bring up is the people that were complaining about this. If they were playing on Insane, to be honest, you're kind of asking for it, because Insane is meant to be insane. What needs to be done is let the tournament mode be super easy on normal difficulty, where they almost don't spam spells and the units are super weak. And same with hard difficulty, where it's slightly more difficult but still relatively easy to steamroll. But Insane mode needs to be Insane mode. Like, quite literally, if you click on Insane mode, you should expect to face a lot of hell. That's what makes Insane mode. When you take that away, it makes Insane mode look like a complete joke. And I think that's the problem. If people were saying that the final tournament players were too difficult and they chose to play on Insane, then that's a personal problem. You can play on normal or hard difficulty where you don't have to deal with that. But the AI tournament players need to be buffed on Insane, and they need to be an actual challenge to the player, and they need to perform a lot better, use the control a lot better, and overall, just they need a lot of improvements, because it upsets me how I brought back the Spin the Wheel series, and this tournament mode nerf made the mode trash, and it might make the videos trash. Like, I don't even want to make another Spin the Wheel video until this gets improved. And then upsets me how the AI's spell usage was nerfed, and then there were no changes after that. It's been radio silence from the devs afterwards. So that's what spurred me to make this video, because it really needs to be addressed a lot sooner than later. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.